computer. Yeah, again warm welcome guys. So one second, let me open my board as well. Why it's not minimizing? Yeah, I'm minimizing. Okay, first of all, give me some clarification. My voice is clear, my video is clear.
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah.
Great. If any interrupt happen, just let me know. Okay, because I don't know whether interrupt is happening or not. So we are the people who will give some good feedback, like if my voice is not clear, maybe some, since we're working from the home, right, network would be key challenging part for our communication, right? So that is why I'm asking. Sometimes maybe in your side problems, sometimes maybe my side problems. So if you give multiple people like, yeah, your voice is not clear, your video is not clear, then definitely it's my problem. Then I can try to fix my problem, then I can continue the session. Okay. So yeah, coming to the point, after two demos, I don't want to go much about the what is cloud and all those stuff. Already we are being discussed about it. Who people are joined in the last two demos, or at least one demo from two demos, at least, because I covered almost similar, just adding some extra things only. So today I would like to go, first of all, what is Google Cloud Platform? First of all, what are the use of it? What is the cloud is already we are being discussed here in the last classes. But first of all, why, why we need infrastructure, why we need resources, why we are using in the cloud. First of all, how organizations are adopting the subscription from the cloud level. Doesn't matter who is the vendor, but why, what is the process of getting the subscription, and how people are managing the organizations. Let's say in our companies, first, if you want to take any kind of a cloud adoption in terms of irrespective of any vendor, so what is the process, how they will manage the things, how they will create the subscriptions, how they will segregate the projects, how they will align the projects inside the organizations, how they will give all permissions, how you can access the projects and all those stuff. Today, first thing, I would like to give the scope of them, today's concept. First, we would like to brief about how organizations are getting the adoption of cloud, especially GCP, how they can, follow the governance process. Governance process in the sense, we cannot simply take it the cloud subscription, right? We should have the governance process. Governance is nothing but a rules and regulation, because without control, our organization, we cannot maintain the projects. Doesn't matter what is technology, but we cannot, generalize the projects. We cannot just simply create the projects, right? We should have some structure, we should have some hierarchy of that. So in the context of GCP, how it would look like, we will try to cover that. And second level, we are talking about IAM, identity access management, means how will, what is the use of IAM? Because before, after starting of cloud technology, of course it will do implementation, we can do development and all those stuff, but before that, one second guys, one second. Yeah, sorry guys, I got it. Yeah. So second part, we will be discussing about identity access management, and after that, someone has asked here. Yeah, that is a really good point. We do discussing about core services. What is the foundation services? What are the GCP core services? What is the automation? We will do like to do discuss about that. And end of the session, small briefly discussing about how we will create the subscription of GCP, because next 30 or 20 next 30 days or 30 35 days, you have to do practice and all those stuff, right? So you would like to need some kind of a environment where you can do practice and implementation and all those stuff based on the daily classes, right? So that part, yeah, small I can give description about that. And the steps, the thing, yeah, next classes we can do how we can create the documentation as well, how you will create the subscription and all those stuff. We will discuss about that. And coming to the first point, so the first point is anything across the any cloud like GCP, we have a three things in terms of technical terms, like infrastructure as a service, that is the as we are calling as a technical terms as. Okay, కొంతమంది as కూడా అంటారు, but yeah, we are calling as infrastructure as a code, PaaS, platform as a services, and SaaS. These three only across the training or across the cloud, wherever you are going to do an all work, these three terminals are most important as a part of, Google Cloud Platform products. Doesn't matter. It's not about the Google, for AWS, for Azure also. This is all the standard terminology. Infrastructure as a code. Forget about what is IaaS, what is PaaS, and what is SaaS. Of course, small example I have given in my previous demo, but soon we will go in depth what is IaaS, what is PaaS, and what is SaaS. I mean, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So what is the beauty of that? Under IaaS, what things will come to the picture? Under the PaaS, what services will come to the picture? Under the SaaS, what kind of application softwares will come to the picture? Definitely we'll do discuss about that. But first, you should understood that these three terminology, because when I was using the word as means, you can check about memory, disk, interfaces, and CPUs, nothing but infrastructure, right? So infrastructure kind of thing, like servers and VM instances. VM is nothing but a virtual machines. Generally, in regularly, what kind of machines we can use? We can use desktops and laptops, right? But in the cloud computing, in the cloud services, we are using virtual machines. We do not use any kind of a physical machines, nor it's kind of desktop or laptop. We cannot use that. So we are calling as a VM, means virtual machines. If we are using the word VM, virtual machine, means it's kind of a machine where we can do where we can deploy operating system. On top of that, we can do some work. Later we can do what kind of a work we are about to do and all those stuff. And clusters, yeah, how we can create the production clusters, what is the cluster management, what is the serverless computing, what is the auto scaling. So these are about the high level of infrastructure level kind of a terminology in future, in order to do servers creation, cluster creation, VM creation, and all those stuff. Okay. One machine in the sense, what generally, okay, forget about the cloud machines. Normal machine, what do we have? We have an operating system. Coming to hardware, we have a RAM, we have a CPU, we have a processor, right? Intel processor, AMD processor. So similarly here also we do have the same kind of thing, but the way of using is different in terms of virtual automata. That's it. So before that, here we are using some kind of a technical words like IT ops, system apps, dev apps. Forget about these two, because we are not at all using these two terminologies. These three are main things: IT ops, system ops, and develop apps. But most you have to focus on that, the technical terms. IT operations, apps means operations, DevOps operations. System operations, you can ignore that, because most probably it won't come under our scope as a part of GCP cloud engineers, as GCP DevOps engineers as well. So these two, IT operations and DevOps operations, these two terminologies on top of that, as PaaS and SaaS. These are the core. Regularly we are using technical words we are using. So whenever I am using this word, means you just try to understand these are the things. What exactly as will do, what exactly pass will do, what exactly SAS will do. Yeah, slowly we can learn each and everything. That's thing. So before that, come to the point. Okay, before starting any organizations, if they're supposed to adopting any kind of a cloud subscriptions, what is the process first? Let's say I have one company. Okay, just ignore me. My drawing skills are very poor. Okay, just bear with me. So I have a XYZ company, xyz.com, some company. So let's say xyz.company is using on-prem kind of a infrastructure, on-prem kind of a data centers already. But they thought, based on the last two demos, what is the benefit of cloud? You know very well. So I don't want to repeat that. But XYZ companies decided that, yeah, I will go with cloud. So in this context, they are going with some GCP. Okay, it's really bad. So they have decided that they have to go with the GCP technology. They have decided based on the available vendors from the cloud, they have decided that they are supposed to go GCP. Then what kind of GCP subscription they're supposed to take it? In these organizations, if they're supposed to be decided, yes, I would like to go, like, if I'm using the word organization, means it could be company, it could be customer, guys. Customer means nothing but a client. So I'm using the general word like organizations. Organization means nothing but you can imagine like company or client, whatever. So they are supposed to be confirming that, yeah, we have to go with the GCP based on the different circumstances. Okay, they have decided you have to go GCP. Okay, if I want to take GCP, first, what is the process? Forget about how we can implement, how we can do development, everything we can do anyhow, rest of the things. But first, the starting initiation point is how we would like to take the adoption of GCP. The first process is here IAM will come to the picture. IAM is coming as a part of governance, means identity access management, because this part very important, not the technical, functional way, I would like to say. Because if you understanding this functional, definitely if you can direct the strategy, technical strategy is an only, so it's very difficult to understand what exactly behind the story. That if you go in any organization, how they have adopted these technologies, as an engineer, you should know about what exactly happening behind your technical skills, right? So functional, you should understood first how the architectural will happening before we are taking the adoption of DevOps or core infrastructure, whatever we have here, like virtual machine storage accounts. We have a lot of things. Anyhow, we can do everything, but before that, how organizations is structured by adapting this GCP kind of technology. So for that, IAM will play very key role, because if you see here, this IAM, if you see in our console, last time I shows you what is the GCP console, but of course, without console, we cannot do anything regular basis. Daily we are using. If you see here, this is my homepage of GCP. Only one console. I have told you right in the previous last couple of demos. So this is my GCP homepage of this. Inside here, of course, we have a lot of things here in the UI. UI means user interface. And here IAM come to the picture. IAM admin they are calling, like we have a lot of things inside that. But identity access management, what it can do, this service, what it can be provided, how organizations will create inside the organizations, what is the hierarchy, then what is the role of DevOps engineer here. Then I would like to explain now explain in the here in the example. So this is my organization. Just assume that we have a one company. Inside the organizations, I have a, this is you can call as a root organizations. The simple term root organizations means root structure. If anybody is working in the organization, they know about what is the hierarchy of organization, but it doesn't know also, not at all a problem. Just assume that we have a one company, this company having departments. Of course, we have a n number of departments, but for the example, I would like to take just an example for like HR department, like and admin department, and cloud department, and network department, and application departments. So already what happening, all departments are integrated with IT services, right? All departments are integrated with IT services already. Before cloud also, they are using IT services. But these IT services are communicating resources where the resources are available in the physical data center, not the cloud data center. But now what come to the picture, these departments are integrated with IT services and already communicating all resources which are available in the physical data center, which is calling as a on-prem data center. This is a technical term, sorry, on-prem. If I using on-prem word means, just imagine that that is the physical data center, means the resources are using resources are available were deployed in the physical data center, but customer has about to take cloud technology. So definitely this physical data center has to be migrate into cloud. That is the main agenda. This is the scratch level project, means whenever they're adopting cloud, means they should understand how their existing setup and how they're supposed to be migrated into cloud. For that, okay, what I would like to start, where I need to start, customer simple will ask where I need to start it, how I can do, means that picture, this IAM will give very clear picture about that, what is the governance, how we need to create the rules, how we can do more secure. Let's say GCP, they have adopted subscription. So let's say I would like to move these IT services into GCP now. What is the plan first? What is the plan first? Subscription is the most important. Forget about technical architecture. First, we need to understand how we have to moving, right? That is the most important. So first is the, we would like to understand the existing architecture about how networking is happen, how machines are, how physical machines are working, how, what kind of applications are there, is it .NET, Java, how, what kind of applications are using by customer, then how many departments are there. By department means each application, HR also having one application, admin people are also having one application. Just an example, they might have multiple applications, but simply example I'm just taking here. So First of all, we need to maintain the infrastructure. Endukante, if I want to build one house, first of all, I need to think about base first. Without base, I cannot build anything, right? Similarly, here also, infrastructure is kind of a base first. If I want to move my applications into cloud, first I need to set my infrastructure first in the cloud. Then only I need to slowly take one application, move into based on the requirement, based on the architecture, I move into cloud. That is cloud. Here we are using the GCP here. For that, customer has taken already subscription. So this subscription, they will segregate like a groups, user groups basically. So they will segregate the projects in a grouping wise. They are calling as a what, grouping. Groups means they will create multiple projects. For HR, by using of IAM, they will create multiple projects based on this is the root subscription. So they cannot take multiple subscription, guys. Once they purchase with the GCP license, they will not take multiple licenses. They will take root organizations, means company organization will take only one license. From this license, they will create multiple instance. Please try to understand. Chala mandi confuse avutaru ikkada. So company root organization will take only one license from the GCP. It could be how many dollars we don't know, but they will take only one license from the GCP. Once it is ready, logically they will create multiple instances. License is different, instances is different. License is nothing but a, it's kind of a group of resources where we will take as a single shot. Once I have purchased the license, which customer has been purchased the license, then from this license, by using of IAM, IAM is nothing but it's kind of a, it's not tool only, it's kind of a service. From there, we can create the projects, project 1, project 2, project 3, and so on, a number of projects. Each project, let's say I have HR project. This HR project, I can create one P1, project 1. Of course, if you see here, this thing, if you see, go to IAM here, and future we can create number of projects here. So from here, just let it be open. Yeah, from here I have already one project here, guys. So future, when we are working with the regular services, then we can create projects wise. For HR, I can create one HR project under the organization. So for what I have written for .NET, I can get one projects. ఇలానే ఉండాలి లేదు, different గా ఉండొచ్చు departments. I'm just taking as an example here. So project wise, I can create it. Under the project, what I can create, I can create my resources. Resources means, let's say I have a HR project. HR project ki em kavali, what I need for HR? Yeah, of course I need a infrastructure, right? What is infrastructure? I need a platform. What is platform? Platform is nothing but I need some resources like virtual machines, storage account, databases, blah 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 blah. Because if I want to implement one project, just normally we can think I need a laptop, I need an operating system, I need a software, I need a RAM, CPU, XYZ, XYZ. I need this thing if I want to implement one kind of a project, right? Similarly, here also, if I want to moving this kind of a application into cloud, first of all, infrastructure is needed. Okay, fine. Under the resources, I can create infrastructure. On top of that, I can create software, I can create XXY, whatever we needed based on the customer requirement, we can create it. Let's come to .NET project. But అన్నిటికీ సేమ్ రూల్ లేదు. So all departments don't we don't think so ki everything we should have the same page. No, it could be different. For .NET project, let's create P2 project. For this, I need only VM, storage, and Linux operating system. Simple example. For this thing, I need Linux operating sorry, I need Windows operating system, because HR department are using Windows operating system. .NET providers are using Linux operating system. That is their requirement. So the requirement is most important here. So we need to go through the existing setup first, what they are using in the on-prem. Then based on that, we have to create the all kind of a infra setup by using of GCP. Of course, how we can create and everything, what kind of services do we have, soon I can show you in the PDF documentation as well. But here try to understand how the setup will moving forward in terms of scratch project, in terms of migration project basically. So likewise, it could be P1, P2, P and a project only. So P4 like that, we have a multiple projects. That is why nowadays, all, as I told you in the demos, majority of the organizations, they are moving in the projects from on-prem to cloud, in the sense they do have this kind of a setup. Similarly, we have to move them. Who will move to them? Yes, we have a architecture. So just try to understand the architecture now. Is it clear till now? At least, of course, functionally, it's not technical much, but functional, but it is more important. Once we started technical now, so then only provide key the create shell, the create shell, and you don't understand anything. So for in the future classes, if I say I need to create a resource under this project, means you have to imagine, okay, might be there is some department. So from department wise, because we need to work as a live environments, live kind of a real time kind of a things we need to understand, right? So this structure and this architecture would help you in order to in the future classes and all those stuff when we started the technical implementations and all those stuff. Okay. Any doubts so far here? Because I would like to go with the architecture now. Okay, fine. Your silence, I will take it as a whether fully understood, whether not at all understood. Okay, no problem. Once you feel not understand, just ping me. Ping means just stop me. Okay, better I will take new one. So come to the architecture, because architecture is the most important. So how? Okay, my subscription is ready, client is adapted. Then how customer will taking the resources here? So customer is there, C means customers. So he's adopted GCP and they have know how, what kind of, then what is the thing? Now they have to gather, they have to start in the requirement. How they will start in the requirement? First, they will offering you like cloud architects and cloud engineers like us and cloud testers and cloud DevOps engineers. Then they have to recruit these people. These are very high level. Maybe they have different areas also, especially in the context of cloud engineer and a DevOps engineer. So this is the very high level of recruitment they should take it. First, this cloud architect will design your technical things. Let's say already on-prem infrastructure is there, but how we need to move, how we need to moving into cloud. This guy or these people will design the architecture of how we can do migration. If it is a scratch project, how we can start the project. Then from here, engineering, these two people closely working with architect, cloud engineer, and here in our context, GCP cloud engineer and GCP DevOps engineer closely working with the architect. Then this architect will give you clear picture about how existing IT infrastructure is there, how we can move into cloud. Let's say I need 100 virtual machines. Based on the existing business, I need 100 virtual machines. I need 100 storage accounts, and I need some 100 apps. What is that? Later we can discuss. Just assume that. So how we can move these all 100 virtual machines, 100 storage accounts, 100 apps into cloud? This guy or this team will create the architecture. Once architecture is ready, based on the architecture, as an engineer, how I can provisioning virtual machines, how I can provisioning storage account, how I can provisioning applications, all those things. As an engineer, you have to do your work. Means how I can get virtual machine first. So for that, of course, we have a concepts like oh, where are that? Here we can segregate the things here. Yeah. So this diagram will give very clear picture. The first point is virtual networks and virtual machines will come under foundation, guys. Someone has asked me in starting of class, right? How we can do segregate of our syllabus, or how what the syllabus will cover, right? So essentially cloud infrastructure, they're calling as a term cloud infrastructure. Foundation level, when you are working with virtual machines, when you are working with virtual networks, yes, this will come under a foundation. Why? Because What is network, what is virtual machine, I have explained here, but still what is network, soon I can explain you, because in the regular classes we have a modules, right? One day we have a network class, one day we have a virtual machine class, one day we have a storage account class. So regularly I can clearly explain you what is virtual network, how it can create it, what is the use of that, how we can do communication with the resources by using of networks. Yeah, in the regular classes we do have a more deep dig on that particular context. And coming to the second level, cloud infrastructure foundation, still, oh, it's already there, sorry. Cloud infrastructure core services. What is core services? We have a cloud IAM, we have a data storage, just now I told storage accounts, it will come under data storage services, and resource management and resource monitoring. So virtual networks, yes, it's nothing but kind of a, if you want to communicate, let's say I am here, I need to come, my business is available in multiple countries in the global level. I need to communicate across the worldwide. Of course, without network, we cannot do anything, because without communication, we cannot do single transaction, right? So for that context, we need to understand about what is network. We need to create, how we can create, virtual networks, VNets. We are shortcut, we are calling as a VNets, how I can create IP addresses, how we can assign the IP addresses to my virtual machines, what is the NIC, network interface card, what is the IP protocols and all those stuff. Each and everything technically we can do have a class under the virtual network classes. And coming to virtual machine, just now we discussed about that, but deeply anyhow, what kind of virtual machines do we have? Manaki multiple ways of virtual machines, like standard, E2, they have given some names based on the requirement. Let's say I have a development environment. For development environment, what kind of machine I can choose? So that part he will decide. Architect will decide, yeah, if project is requiring, okay, we have a development team, they're supposed to be implement .NET project, we need to give infrastructure. Okay, if it is dev environment, what kind of virtual machine I would like to select? He will give the information. Based on the information, as an engineer, you have to implement that. You have to provision that virtual machine, whether it is a standard virtual machine, whether it is a E2 virtual machine, whether it's a high configured virtual machine. Based on the architect decision, they will confirm us, yeah, you have to go deploy this kind of a virtual machine in this particular project. Then from there you have to start your work. So for that we have to learn how we can provision virtual machine. Just an example, guys, we have a lot of things. We have around 40 services, right? So an example, I have taken virtual machine. Like that, we have a storage accounts, we have a app services, we have a, of course, lot of things, database and all those stuff. So how we can do provisioning and future classes, we do have that. And about cloud in identity access management, just now we have been discussed about that. And data storages, yes, we have been discussed about this, is also very high level. Storage accounts. What is a storage account? This storage account, anybody, if organization supposed to be store our data, without storage service we cannot do. Normally what happen, in our cases we are using hard disks, right? In our normal on-prem, what we are using, we can use hard disks, or we can use some space or tables or something like that. By using our databases, we can store our customer data, we can store into storage accounts, right? Similarly here also they are calling as a data storage services. Here each thing they are calling as a service, guys. In the on-prem we are calling some small change of different words, but here, because since it is a cloud, every service, every resource they are calling as a services. That is why they are calling as a core services. And resource management, most important. Why? Because we have a 4 projects. Under that, each project we have a different services, but how you can manage? Let's say my architect told I have a P1 project 1 and project 2. Project 1 is having VM, project 2 is also having some different VM. Can I swap these virtual machines? That is a requirement. Maybe some different reason, but can I swap it? Yes, we can do that. So by using of this resource management, we can swap or we can exchange the resource between 2 projects or a number of projects. We can do that. Let's say why? Because in project 1, they are using virtual machine. Their work is over. The same virtual machine I need to use in P2. P2 means project 2. That is the requirement. So my requirement is come like that. Then yeah, by using of this resource management, not only virtual machine, storage accounts, it could be app services, it could be anything. You can align the resources between, and it could be more than one project. It's not about only one or two. We can swap or we can, align the resources based on the customer's requirement. Yeah, we can do that. And coming to the one more core services, that is the resource monitoring. What is resource monitoring in the current? Let's say I have .NET application. Okay, I have a .NET application. This .NET application, yes, it's working fine. It's already available in the production. But as a customer, I need to monitor of this particular .NET project in terms of infrastructure, in terms of services. Means ఏ project కైనా ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఉంటుంది, సర్వీసెస్ ఉంటాయి, రైట్? ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ నేను మానిటరింగ్ చేయాలి, సర్వీసెస్ ని మానిటరింగ్ చేయాలి. వై? లెట్ మీ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ. So first, coming to infrastructure, I have a .NET application. I need to enable monitoring for this, because why? What is the reason? Monitoring is the most important. Let's say this infra having two production servers. Prod means production, guys. Okay, I don't want to write full name. Okay, I have two prod servers. These two prod having 8 clusters. Forget about what is cluster as of now. Just imagine that we have some production servers like that. Let's say across the 8 clusters, one of the cluster server CPU utilization is going beyond 90% utilization based on the transactions. One of the cluster server CPU utilization is going beyond 90%, means almost critical. Means now CPU, a particular server like a CPU and utilization means using anamata. Because of the huge transactions, it's going almost 90%. Just assume that if I am not enabling the monitoring for this particular cluster, what happened, guys? Anybody guess it? After some time, this server will go crash. If I'm not enabling monitoring, we don't know what happening, right? Because every time on 24/7 మనం each and every time మనం సర్వర్ లోకి వెళ్ళి చెక్ చేయాలి అంటే ఇట్స్ నాట్ an easy job. Earlier it was happening like that, but now customer is very, expecting very robustic way. So each thing it should be a monitoring. So this kind of thing we can manage by alerts. How? By using of monitoring. By using of monitoring concept. That's why they have kept as the core services, because monitoring is most important. So once alerts are configured, how we can configure alerts? First alert I can write under the monitoring. If my CPU is reached to 70% utilization, first warning. W means warning, warning one. If go 85%, I will give second warning. Means alert will come towards email or SMS. SMS is very rare, but towards email it will go to support team. And మన cloud engineering team ki mail వస్తుంది. One of the server, one of the cluster CPU is almost close to 70%. It's a warning one. So first warning one రాగానే మనం యాక్టివ్ అయిపోతాం. ఆ షిఫ్ట్ లో ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో దే విల్ యాక్టివ్. They will go under the monitoring some xyz, they will fix the issue. Again they will control the alerts. Means 70% కి దాన్ని రెడ్యూస్ చేస్తాం. అది ఎలా చేస్తాం అనేది ఓకే, we will discuss in the future classes. But this kind of setup కనుక లేకపోతే just assume సర్వర్స్ విల్ క్రాష్ అయిపోతాయి. క్రాష్ అయిపోయినాయి అంటే మనకు బిజినెస్ లాస్ అవుతుంది. సో టు అవాయిడ్ సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్, టు ప్రివెంట్ ఆర్ అవాయిడ్ సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ సిచ్యువేషన్స్, మానిటరింగ్ విల్ ప్లే వెరీ పీరియడ్. అది ఇన్ఫ్రాకి. కమింగ్ టు అప్లికేషన్ సర్వీసెస్. అప్లికేషన్ సర్వీసెస్ అంటే ఒక జనరల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకుందాం. లెట్స్ సే ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ తీసుకుందాం, ఎందుకంటే అందరికి తెలుసు కాబట్టి. ఈ ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ సర్వీస్ దే ఆర్ యూజింగ్ వన్ సర్వీస్ లైక్ ఆర్డర్ సర్వీస్ తీసుకుందాం. ఆర్డర్ అంటే మనం జస్ట్ మొబైల్ యాప్లో ఒక ఆర్డర్ని బుక్ చేసుకుంటాం, రైట్? ఆ సర్వీస్ని యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఆ సర్వీస్ యూటిలైజేషన్ అనేది, ట్రాఫిక్ అనేది నేను మానిటరింగ్ చేయకపోతే, ఇఫ్ ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు డూ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎ మానిటరింగ్ ఫర్ ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ సర్వీస్, దట్ ఈస్ ఎ ఆర్డర్ సర్వీస్, వాట్ హ్యాపెన్? That service performance go beyond 90% worst kind of thing, that service will go crash. అంటే మనం ఏ ఆర్డర్ బుక్ చేయలేం బై యూజింగ్ ఆఫ్ యాప్ ఆర్ ఎనీథింగ్. We cannot book any single order because my service performance is very bad. Then here also I need to write the alert. If my service performance is bad, then I need to create a rule. That rule under monitoring I can create, yeah, 50%, because service is very critical, right? So I need to give at least first warning at 50%. 75% is the second warning. 90% means it's almost a P1. P1 means very high priority. So this kind of alerts we can generate under the monitoring, guys. So for that purpose, we can use this kind of a resource monitoring, because implementation of infrastructure, implementation of services is one part, but monitoring is also very important role basically. Okay, so because this monitoring will give clear overview about my infrastructure, my services and all those stuff. So this kind of things, yeah, everything we can do by using of our, this thing. Let's say whatever we have been discussing just now, I would like to show you using our console. This console will normally also we can open directly, but when you have a subscription, then you people might get this kind of thing. uh, Soon we can discussing about how we can create the subscription as well. If you see here, for free trial account we have this much of credits because already I have been subscription, so that is why it is showing like this. For you people, you may create without subscription also. GCP console will open by using of your Gmail ID or any kind of ID whatever you are using. Based on the register, you will able to open GCP console even though it is not registered, but you cannot create any single resource. One second, guys. Okay, sorry. So you might able to open the GCP console, but you cannot create any single resource. Let's say if you want to open, just try it without subscription. Just try it. Go to VM instances, which is the virtual machine instances. If you want to create it here without subscription, you cannot able to create any single mission here. Okay, so once you understand how we can do subscription, just go through it. Most probably by tomorrow onwards you can create a subscription, guys, because చాలా మంది చేసే మిస్టేక్స్ ఏంటంటే you I mean some people may delay the creating the subscription. Just classes are going completion like 2 classes, 3 classes, 4 classes. Then if you miss day by day classes in terms of practical, it would be more critical. First 2 classes, 2 or 3 classes are fine, but at least get subscription as soon as possible. uh, and try to activate the subscription as well before initiating of our technical classes. And please be ready with that, because according to my last sessions with the students, they might take delay in terms of getting the subscription of any, like in here GCP for Azure whatever. But because of subscriptions, a lot of people will missing the practical classes, especially because day by day if you do now in the practical classes, but easily you can understand what exactly happening in the regular classes and all those stuff. If you miss, classes will go, but your practical will be little bit delay. It will come some bit of slow in your backward of regular classes. That is the only challenging. So as per my experience, this is my opinion I'm giving to you. Just try to get subscription as soon as possible. So once subscription is ready, yeah, come to here. Whatever we have discussing now, compute engine in the demo classes, I told you, right? So under the cloud compute engine, we have all these services or resources you are calling like virtual machines, storage, disk, images. Images is nothing but a operating system, and operating system management, servers, everything we have here. So in the regular classes, we can create virtual machines, we can create storage accounts, we can create disk. Disk is nothing but a hard disk, guys. Okay, and we do deploy a Windows operating system. We do deploy a Ubuntu or Linux operating systems on our virtual machine. So each and everything we can do create it according to the plan. And cloud storage accounts, yeah, we can create that. And network, especially when you are playing with the network concepts, we will create how we can create the virtual networks. What is the IP address? What is the public IP address? What is the private IP address? Yes, we do have it. And Kubernetes is very long class, not now. First, we would like to cover administration classes first. Second level, this Kubernetes engine will come to the picture as a part of the DevOps. As I told you, right, we have 2 layers across our training session. One is the administration, second is the automation. If I said automation, that is completely DevOps. Before that, you should know about the infrastructure, right? Because as a DevOps engineer, you should know both. Most of the people ఏం థింక్ చేస్తారంటే డైరెక్ట్లీ సిఐసిడి పైప్ లైన్ నేర్చుకుంటారు. ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ వాట్ హ్యాపెన్ బిహైండ్ ద స్టోరీ నోబడీ డజంట్ నో. If in the call, if in the technical calls, if in the interview calls, they simply ask what is the virtual machine. They don't know anything. If you learn directly DevOps, you don't know anything how virtual machine is deploying, how the storage account will play across the projects. You don't know anything. Simply creating the build and pipeline, simply deploying your services, is kind of a blindness, right? So before that administration, you should know. First point, the first 15 days class, I would like to cover all GCP administration part. Then once you very good understanding on networks, virtual machines, storage accounts and all those things, then we can build similar kind of that. Yeah, for that purpose, I would like to explain what is that and all those stuff. Any questions so far? Moving on some next level topic. Okay, no problem. Slowly you can having doubts once you get a chance to doing and all those stuff. So first, as I mentioned, you have to learn administration first. Next, you have to do automation. These two only, guys. Nothing is that these two only. For administration, all GCP resources, you have to know what is this resource. Virtual machine, an example. Okay, what is virtual machine? What is the role of that? What is the benefit of that? How I can use in the projects? You should know. Likewise, whatever core services are there inside the GCP, you have to learn everything. Almost, I can say I'm not remember the count. First, you need to do this all GCP core resources in terms of how I can create, how I can provisioning. Create means మనం జీసీపీ కన్సోల్ నుంచి ఎట్లా క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, కమాండ్ లైన్ నుంచి ఎట్లా క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. We have a different things, guys. Slowly we can learn it. We have a creation of resources. We have a two kind of a methods, two or three, I believe. One is the console level, UI level. Second level is command line interface. Means మనం CMD లాగా దీంట్లో కూడా let me show you ఒక కమాండ్ లైన్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ఉంటుంది. దాన్ని యాక్టివ్ క్లౌడ్ షెల్ అంటాం మనం. So this is the UI. This is the active cloud shell. Once I click on it, సో ఒక మనం విండోస్ మిషన్ లో సిఎండి ఎలా ఉంటుందో దీంట్లో కూడా ఒక క్లౌడ్ షెల్ అనేది క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. సో ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు, ఇంటర్వ్యూలో ఎలా అడుగుతారంటే హౌ మెనీ వేస్ యూ కెన్ క్రియేట్ జీసీపీ రిసోర్సెస్ అంటాడు. యా, బై యూజింగ్ ఆఫ్ పోర్టల్, బై యూజింగ్ ఆఫ్ సిఎల్ క్లౌడ్ షెల్ వీ కెన్ ప్రొవిజనింగ్ అవర్ ఎనీ రిసోర్స్. అది ఇట్ కుడ్ బి వర్చువల్ మిషన్, ఇట్ కుడ్ బి స్టోరేజ్ అకౌంట్, ఇట్ కుడ్ బి యాప్ సర్వీస్, ఎనీ రిసోర్స్ వీ కెన్ డూ క్రియేషన్ బై యూజింగ్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ టూ లెవెల్స్. దెన్ వన్స్ ఈ టాపిక్ మీకు అర్థమైపోతే ఆల్ రిసోర్స్ తోటి మీరు ఫస్ట్ 15 days లో, దెన్ ఈ రిసోర్స్ అంతా ఇదంతా ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ కిందకి వస్తుందండి. దట్ ఈస్ కాలింగ్ యాజ్ ఏ ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ ద వర్డ్ అడ్మిన్ యాక్టివిటీస్. దిస్ ఆల్ కమింగ్ అండర్ ఇన్ఫ్రా. దిస్ ఆల్ ఇన్ఫ్రా ఇనిషియల్లీ ఫర్ ఫస్ట్ 15 days we would like to create by manual, రైట్? ఈ మొత్తం ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ని ఫస్ట్ క్లయింట్ ఏమంటాడు, ఫస్ట్ మనం దీన్ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం మాన్యువల్గా, దీన్ని అంతా ఆటోమేట్ చేయమంటాడు. హియర్ DevOps will come to the picture. Okay, if you didn't understand what is this, you maybe learn DevOps, but it's kind of a blind. అంటే మనం జస్ట్ బ్లైండ్ గా నేర్చుకుంటాం అంటాం కదా. ఇఫ్ యూ ఆస్క్ సంథింగ్, ఓకే హౌ వర్చువల్ మిషన్ ఈస్ వర్కింగ్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద బేసిక్ థింగ్స్ యూ వుడ్ లైక్ టు నీడ్ అంటే మనం ఏం చెప్పలేం. అదే మనం ఇక్కడ హౌ వర్చువల్ మిషన్, వాట్ ఇస్ ద ప్రీ రిక్విసైట్ అన్నారు అనుకోండి, యా ఐ నీడ్ ఏ వర్చువల్ మిషన్, ఫర్ దట్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద ప్రీ రిక్విసైట్స్, ఐ నీడ్ ఏ సబ్నెట్ మాస్క్, ఐ నీడ్ ఏ వర్చువల్ నెట్వర్క్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ కార్డ్, ఐ నీడ్ ఏ కోర్ ప్రాసెసర్, ఐ నీడ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. యూ కెన్ క్లియర్ పిక్చర్ ఉంటుంది. అదే ఇక్కడ మేము ఆటోమేట్ చేయాలి, అదే మీకు డెవాప్స్ ఇంజిన్ డైరెక్ట్ గా అడగండి హౌ యూ కెన్ ప్రొవిజనింగ్ విఎం అంటే సింప్లీ దే విల్ సే ఐ హ్యావ్ వన్ ఫైల్, ఆల్ ఫైల్ ఐ కెన్ ఫిల్ ఆల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. ఈ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ లో వాడికి ఏం తెలియదు మళ్ళీ. దట్ ఈస్ హౌ వీఆర్ గివింగ్ ట్రైనింగ్. ఫస్ట్ you have to understand administration activities, then you have to come to the next 15 to 20 days we can do DevOps activities. ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది అంటే the benefit of this thing here, కోర్ సర్వీసెస్ మీకు అన్ని కవర్ అయిపోతాయి. ఇఫ్ యూ గో ఇంటర్వ్యూ, ఇఫ్ యూ అటెండ్ ద ఎనీ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్, ఇఫ్ యూ నో కోర్ సర్వీసెస్ యూ వుడ్ బి వెరీ స్ట్రాంగ్. So if they ask automation services also, what is CI/CD pipeline, how you have been created, what kind of resources you have been automated, ఇవన్నీ అడిగినప్పుడు yeah, this is the resources we have here, so I will bring them here, then I do automate. Yeah, how we can do that is rest of the thing, not today, because first of all you have to understand what is the concepts, right? So the high level picture of architecture about how GCP DevOps engineer role will work like these guys. Because మీరు ఒక టెక్నాలజీ నేర్చుకుంటున్నారంటే నెక్స్ట్ మీరు అప్కమింగ్ మీరు ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ లోకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు యూ షుడ్ నో యువర్ రోల్, రైట్? వితౌట్ అన్నోయింగ్ ద రోల్ సింప్లీ ఐ కెనాట్ పుట్ మై CV అండ్ ఐ కెనాట్ గివ్ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూస్, రైట్? That is the main funda. So here you should strong about administration, you can strong about automation. Of course, how we can do, how we can play with that slowly, regularly, and most of the things under the administration, what kind of syllabus we would like to cover. Under the automation, what kind of syllabus we would like to cover, what are the core services do we have. In the automation we have a Kubernetes service we have, an app service we have, and we have how we can do automate, how we can create CI/CD pipeline. Most important, this is continuous integration, continuous deployment, how CI/CD will work, everything we will cover under the automation. In terms of syllabus, most probably Shankar is almost updating the document. Most probably today or tomorrow, he will share with you guys. Just go through it, check it also, because nowadays we cannot hide anything. You can check in the internet also what kind of syllabus we are providing. You can cross check it. If you have any concern, you can reach to me or you can reach to us anytime. Because if you're not covering this, yeah, you can openly give your valuable feedback, because nowadays we cannot hide anything. We are openly we are a transparent, so we are, whatever we are providing the services, that is the only we can put into our syllabus thing. That is the only our scope under this particular training, guys. Okay, so how this kind of way we are covering administration and automation, both are very, very interesting concepts. Like, when you are doing administration classes, it's very interesting, like how we can create the virtual machine, storage accounts, app services, and all those stuff, how we can play with them. Definitely very interesting. When you started, it's very interesting how you can play with the networks, how we can play with the Kubernetes engine, how we can play with the, app services, how we can create the projects, how we can create the rules and all those stuff. It's really interesting. Day by day, definitely you will get some kind of interest, I'm pretty sure. And just try to focus on that. Get the subscription as soon as much before starting our regular practical classes. Most probably by tomorrow or Monday onwards, practical classes will start. First 2 or 3 days, most probably 80% will theoretical classes, because if you don't understand organization structure, governance policies, directly I can create virtual machines. It's meaningless really, because this is my way of teaching. You can agree or not agree, doesn't matter, but this is my way of teaching. Because maximum daily wise, I will take the real time examples, because my students should be understood in the real time concepts as well. I cannot give real time project. I'm pretty sure, because nobody will not give real time project, but I can simulate. Simulate in the sense I can create that kind of a projects. Definitely we can play with the projects. How projects, what kind of projects, ఒక రిసోర్స్ నేను వాడుతున్నాను అంటే రియల్ టైంలో ఎట్లా వాడతారు, దీనికి ఏ కేటగిరీలో వాడతారు, ఎట్ వాట్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ లో వాడతారు, వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సినారియో. సో definitely we do have a discussions with the live examples, then we can simulate with our practicals. Okay guys, so that is the part I would like to today here. And tomorrow I would like to show you the subscription part first. Most probably by tomorrow, for only tomorrow guys, we have a class. Shankar will inform you, okay? Because tomorrow I have a travel plan, okay? Not 8 p.m, I am pretty sure, because 9 p.m I have a travel plan tomorrow. I have a journey. So tomorrow only, just adjust with the timings. From Monday onwards, Saturday Sunday is holiday. I will take only Monday to Friday, and from Monday onwards it's only dedicated schedule plans. It won't change unless if I have any kind of a emergency or schedule meetings, unless if I have an emergency. Okay, so but just tomorrow, for tomorrow, Shankar will inform you most probably 11 a.m, 11 to 12 p.m, but still Shankar will confirm with you end of this today. Okay, so yeah, this is the high level, how organization will look like, the structure, how they are adopting the cloud technology, and how they can segregate the instances, how infrastructure will work, how automation will work, this kind of things. Today I have given like kind of a architecture and functional overview about that. And from tomorrow onwards, how we can play with the resources, definitely we will start by tomorrow. So till here, do you have any questions? Still, do you have any clumsiness, or I'm going bit fast, or I'm going bit slow? Any kind of feedbacks, just give me first 2 or 3 classes, because if you give feedback after 1 week or 10 days, it's really don't use for us. If you give your valuable feedback within 2 or 3 classes, then I can improve myself. Or if it is fast, then I can grow slow. If it is slow, then I can go fast. Or if you're expecting something, yeah, please discuss with us. Definitely we can, go ahead and all those stuff. So from tomorrow onwards, we can play with the resources like virtual machines, Windows operating system, Linux operating systems, and all those stuff. And slowly we can try to execute our daily, core services like administration part, for at least for first 15 days. Second off, we can start with our DevOps concepts. What is DevOps and all those stuff? I can deeply explain you in the second half of our across our training. So this is overall about that. So let me check if I miss anything. Let me just briefing. I'm just checking if I miss anything. Yeah, under the network parts, because I don't want to use very high technical words today, that's why I'm not going much today, because under the networks we have a load balancing and auto scaling. These are technical words, guys. Maybe some people know, but some people may be not aware of it. But నేను రెగ్యులర్గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటప్పుడు నెట్వర్క్స్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటప్పుడు వాట్ ఈస్ లోడ్ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్, ఆటో స్కేలింగ్, ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఆటోమేషన్, వీ డూ హ్యావ్ ఏ explanation more in the regular classes. And yeah, it's over. Fine. Yeah, for today's scope I have covered according to my plan. So syllabus will share it by Shankar. Are you in the call?
I will share.
Yeah,
Share.
maximum please try, because they're asking, some people are
Sure,
asking.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We'll provide by EOD. Okay, not an
yeah, yeah,
issue.
sure. Thanks, Shankar.
Guys, please send email. Okay, few of the members I did not have your email IDs. Please post in WhatsApp group. Okay, so that I can send recordings as well as syllabus also.
Any questions, guys? I will be here for up to 9 p.m. So do you have any questions, anything? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can ask anything, because you have to be clear. Mind lo ఏదన్నా ఉంటే అడగండి open గా. Doesn't matter where background you are coming here, doesn't matter. It's open up. It's a silly question or serious question, doesn't matter for me. For me, it's everything is important question. So you can ask anything.
Will Linux be a big part of this? Should we spend more time on that also?
Linux administration you are talking about?
Yeah. Do we need to learn Linux a lot, or is it just like
No,
basic?
no. Only deployment of Linux operating system, because Linux administration is a different part. Maybe we can use some basic commands. That's it. Not kind of a mounting and all those stuff.
No, actually, we can explain some few 10 to 15 commands in this course. So means only thing we cannot like explain the more. That's only thing because while you are using that cloud shell, I mean Google Cloud Shell, it will be like useful.
Okay.
We cannot focus on more on Linux.
Okay, but if I want to do my own research on Linux, it'll be helpful, right?
Yeah. Yes. Be
Always.
regular. I mean, yeah, you can learn it from YouTube if you want to learn more. Okay.
It'll be beneficial, no?
Yeah, it's beneficial. Because
Shankar, let me explain the live time. Okay, so when you are promoted in the job as a Azure DevOps engineer, in the organizations they have a Linux administrator as well. But as per the if you have a good on Linux administration, it will give additional advantage for you.
Okay.
Yeah, additional advantage. Yeah, it's really good. Linux administration, you want to do mount point, want to do mount, you want to create the subfolders under the category of your any kind of a project. If you have good knowledge, then your manager will use some kind of a additional task for you if you have good experience on it. Otherwise, as a GCP DevOps engineer, Linux administration, if you have basic, it's good. If you have more as administrator, Linux administrator, it's give additional advantage only, but it's not a mandatory scope.
Okay.
In the interviews also, they will ask, anybody won't ask you. If ask also very basic level command, as Shankar mentioned, like hardly if you learn 5-10 commands, very basic commands. Yeah, it's fair enough. Like LL and VI, visual interface, to open notepad. If I want to save my file in the Linux, like :WQ, that kind of basic commands, yeah, definitely we do have cover in the training session.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Yeah. Any question, guys? Come on, question hour. This is for you. Once classes started, of course, practical చేసేటప్పుడు మీకు doubts అవి technical గా వస్తాయి. But here about the training and all those stuff and GCP cloud technology wise, మీరు ఏదైనా అడగండి. Technical questions, once you started the practical, definitely you will come up with that. That is pretty sure. But here మీ మైండ్ లో డౌట్స్ క్లారిఫై అయిపోవాలి about the technology మీరు అడాప్ట్ చేసుకునేటప్పుడు. Not forget about the technical things. Okay, if I choose this technology, I need to follow next 30 days. So for that context, any kind of doubts, please ask me. Otherwise, if you're very clear, really well and good. ఎందుకంటే ఆఫ్ మైండ్ తోటి మనం మీరు క్లాసెస్ లోకి వెళ్ళకూడదు. సో క్లియర్ మైండ్ తో వెళ్ళాలి. అది దట్ ఈస్ మై మెయిన్ ఎజెండా.
తెలుగులో కూడా డౌట్స్ అడగొచ్చండి.
యా, తెలుగులో కూడా అడగండి. అగర్ భయ్యా ఎనీబడి హిందీ మే హై తో హిందీ में चलेगा मेरे को. प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So
Sheikh Suresh here. So
hi
overall,
bhai.
yeah, how many classes it will take to complete this entire course? Any
30
guess?
to 33.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
Thanks bhai. Yeah.
హలో సార్.
Yes please. అఖిల్ చెప్పండి అఖిల్.
సార్ టెక్నికల్ వర్డ్స్ యూజ్ చేసేటప్పుడు దాని గురించి కొద్దిగా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఎక్కువ ఇవ్వండి సార్.
యా రెగ్యులర్ క్లాసెస్ నేను డీప్ గా చెప్తాను ప్రతి టెక్నిక్. ఇప్పుడు నేను వర్చువల్ మిషన్ అన్నాను, పాస్ అంటే ప్లాట్ఫామ్ యాజ్ ఎ సర్వీస్ అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ దట్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద వై, ఎందుకు పాస్ అంటాము, దాని యొక్క ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఏంటి, ఏ కాంటెక్స్ట్ లో దాన్ని మనం వాడతాము. యా రెగ్యులర్ క్లాసెస్ లో అన్ని టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్ నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను క్లియర్.
ఎక్కువ క్లియర్ గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయండి సార్.
యా క్లియర్ గా ఉంటుందండి.
ఓకే సార్.
అర్థం కాకపోతే అప్పుడే అడిగేయండి.
ఓకే సార్.
ఫర్ బెటర్ క్లారిఫికేషన్ అంటే ఎవరికైతే అసలు తెలుగులో కంప్లీట్ గా అర్థం కాలేదు నెట్వర్కింగ్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్, ట్రై టు సీ యూట్యూబ్ బికాస్ ఇన్ తెలుగు పీపుల్ హూ ఆర్ నాట్ రియల్లీ అండర్స్టాండింగ్. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ చూడండి, దెన్ అగైన్ షేక్ సార్ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ మోర్ ఆన్ దిస్ సో దట్ యూ కెన్ బెటర్ ఐడియా. ఈ డౌట్స్ కూడా అడగడానికి అప్పుడు వీలవుతుంది అనమాట.
సో నథింగ్ టఫ్ అండి ఇది. ఇఫ్ యూర్ కంపేరింగ్ విత్ అదర్ టెక్నాలజీస్, హార్డ్లీ 25 ప్రాక్టికల్స్ ఉంటాయి. అవి ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్రాక్ చేయడం కానివ్వండి, గెటింగ్ గుడ్ ప్యాకేజ్ కానివ్వండి, అండ్ లైవ్ లో కూడా ఆల్మోస్ట్ యూఆర్ 60 to 70% మీరు కాన్ఫిడెంట్ గా ఉంటారు. జస్ట్ 10 or 20% అనేది డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ యువర్ కమ్యూనికేషన్, ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ యువర్ మనం కంపెనీలో ఎట్లా మనం ఉంటాము అదనేది ఒక ఐడియా ఉంటే యు ఆర్ గుడ్. So it's very kind of a very simple kind of a technology, but practice is most important. Practice లేకపోతే మాత్రం మీరు ఎంత క్లాసెస్ విన్నా కానీ అది ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయకపోతే కొద్దిగా ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది అండర్స్టాండ్ అవ్వడానికి.
సార్ అది
చెప్పండి.
సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ కి ఎంత అవుతుంది సార్ అది చార్జెస్?
ఇది సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ 2 రూపీస్ కట్ అవుతుందండి. 2 రూపీస్. దానికి యాక్చువల్ గా క్రెడిట్ కార్డు ఉన్నాడు, డెబిట్ కార్డ్ ఇచ్చాడు. సో రెండితో ట్రై చేయొచ్చు అని చెప్పారు యాజ్ పర్ గూగుల్ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్.
బట్
2 రూపీస్ కట్ అవుతుంది. అది కూడా మళ్ళీ వెనక్కి రావచ్చు అనుకుంటున్నాను 2 days తర్వాత. జస్ట్ వ్యాలిడేషన్ పర్పస్ దే ఆర్ డిడక్టింగ్ 2 రూపీస్.
Yes, 2 rupees back వస్తుంది.
Okay.
And one more thing, debit cards also it's applicable for only for international enablement, online payments, international ఏదైతే డెబిట్ కార్డ్స్ ఉంటాయో, సో అది డెబిట్ కార్డ్ కూడా వర్క్ అవుతుంది. బట్ వ్యాలిడిటీ 90 days ఉంటుందండి.
యా, ద బ్యూటీ ఆఫ్ జీసీపీ యొక్క ఫ్రీ సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ ఏంటంటే when comparing with Azure, ఇది 90 days అండి. అది Azure అయితే మీకు 30 days ఇస్తారు. దట్ ఇస్ ద వన్ డిఫరెంట్ ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు షేర్ హియర్. సో ఇక్కడ మీరు ఒకసారి సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ తీసుకుంటే మీరు 90 days వరకు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
నెక్స్ట్ మళ్ళీ సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ తీసుకోవాలా 90 days అయిపోయిన తర్వాత?
అవునండి. మీరు ఫ్రీగా వాడుకోవాలి అంటే అగైన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్రియేట్ ఫ్రెష్ సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్.
డిఫరెంట్ యూజర్ నేమ్, డిఫరెంట్ క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్,
ఒక్కసారి యూజ్ చేసి మళ్ళీ గూగుల్ వాడు యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయడండి.
న్యూ మెయిల్ ఐడితో అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలి.
యా, అబ్సల్యూట్లీ. అండ్ డిఫరెంట్ కార్డ్, ఇట్ కుడ్ బి క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ ఆర్ డెబిట్ కార్డ్, వాట్ ఎవర్. బట్ 90 days ఇస్ ఫెయిర్ ఎనఫ్. వాళ్ళకి మీరు జాబ్స్ కూడా కొట్టేస్తారు. ఐఎమ్ ప్రిటీ ష్యూర్. యా, అదే అజూర్కి అయితే కొద్దిగా
కంటిన్యూ చేయాలంటే ఎంత చార్జ్ చేస్తారు?
2 రూపీస్
అదే అకౌంట్ కంటిన్యూ చేయాలంటే
అదే అకౌంట్ 90 days తర్వాత కంటిన్యూ చేయమంటున్నారా? కంటిన్యూ అంటే బై యూజింగ్ డిఫరెంట్ క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ ఆర్ ఐ మీన్ సేమ్
అకౌంట్ అమౌంట్ ఎంత చార్జ్ చేస్తారు?
పే యాజ్ యు గో అని ఉంటుంది దాంట్లో. యా, డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ మీరు ఒక వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ 1 day కి మీరు తీసుకునే, లెట్స్ సే నేను స్టాండర్డ్ వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ తీసుకున్నాను. మంత్ కి ఎంత ఉంటుంది? లెట్స్ సే $30 మీన్స్ పర్ డే $1 మీన్స్ దానికి 24 hours కి మీరు 72 rupees బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద డాలర్ రేట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు దే విల్ చార్జ్. ఇట్స్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎ పోస్ట్ పెయిడ్, దెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు పర్చేజ్ ఇట్. అంటే బిల్లింగ్ వస్తుంది, మీరు పే చేయాలి అట్లా. But don't go that when you are as a student or practicing, don't go like that. Okay, it's a waste of your amount. Better go with some new subscription. But 90 days is very good. Aa time ki meeku company account e untundi mee chetulo, means definitely you will get a job. Yeah. Anything else guys? Of course it's a bit late night, but Still you can ask. Okay, Shankar. So can we wrap up the call, or can I wait for 2 minutes?
Yeah, wait for 2 minutes. Maybe
Yeah,
people will
sure,
ask
sure.
doubts.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Take once it is done, please upload the record so that I can share everyone.
Yeah. Actually, I forget the second demo record as well. Yeah, I will update to these 2 recording sessions today.
సార్ ఇది సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ ఎలా చేయాలో హెల్ప్ చేస్తారా సార్?
Yeah, tomorrow ఉందండి. Tomorrow class లో చెప్తానండి. వెరీ స్ట్రైట్ ఫార్వర్డ్, 2 minutes కంటే ఎక్కువ పట్టదు. సో
అదే
జస్ట్ వెరీ స్ట్రైట్ ఫార్వర్డ్ స్టెప్స్, మీరు టెన్షన్ ఏం లేదు. టుమారో క్లాస్ లో నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. బట్ ప్రాక్టికల్ అయితే చెప్పను, జస్ట్ ఆ కార్డ్ ఎంట్రీ వరకు చెప్తాను. అక్కడ నుంచి జస్ట్ నెక్స్ట్ బటన్ కొడితే అయిపోతుంది. ఆల్రెడీ నా
We will provide you
సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్
document అండి.
డాక్యుమెంట్ స్టెప్ బై
డాక్యుమెంట్
స్టెప్
కూడా ఎలా చేయాలని డాక్యుమెంట్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాము.
ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాను. ఈ లోపు మీరు చేసుకోవాల్సిన ఫస్ట్ పని ఏంటంటే, అకార్డింగ్ టు మై ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ విత్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్, గెట్ ద కార్డ్స్ ఫస్ట్. కొంతమంది లేవు అంటారు, కొంతమంది ఫ్రెండ్స్ దగ్గరైనా మీరు ట్రై టు గెట్ ఇట్. ఓకే, so cool. Okay, Shankar, so we can
Yeah,
wrap
you
up
can
the
wrap up the call.
Okay guys, thanks for joining and have a nice day. Okay.